Part 2 of the Huisrivier Pass deals with the section from the 8th to the 13th kilometer and the upper section of the pass. If you intend driving this pass, it's important to watch Part 1 first, which includes the Google Earth orientation clips as well as other important safety, tourism and historical information. This is the only hairpin bend on the pass and occurs at the 9 kilometer point. Going back to the original route through the mountains between the two towns as far back as 1807 was through the adjacent poort to the southwest called Caledon Kloof. It was the most direct route to Ladysmith, but the route followed the convoluted course of the river. This was a treacherous route with narrow, almost vertical sandstone cliffs. Over time the poort became littered with broken wagon wheels and oxen bones. It was given various names between 1810 and 1850, including Welgevonden Kloof, Roy Elsbos Kloof, and finally the most appropriate name of Verkeerde Kloof. In 1810 it was renamed after the governor, possibly in the hope of getting more funding. The 1885 flood completely destroyed the poort, and the same flood completely decimated Meiringspoort further to the east and many other roads in the Cape. At that stage the divisional councils of Ladysmith and Calitzdorp joined forces and built a new road adjacent to the Huisrivier, roughly following the course of the river. This road was opened to the public in 1892. The Huisrivier was not named after any specific house, but it is rather a Khoi word meaning willow tree. The river originates in the northern regions of the Klein Swartberg and flows through the Seweweekspoort before joining the Gamka River about 2/3 of the way along the pass. The Gamka River is in turn a tributary of the Gouritz River, which reaches the Indian Ocean to the west of Mossel Bay. Fast forward to 1951, when it took Graham Ross and his team almost 10 years to finalize the routing through the mountains, and there was a lot of blasting and bulldozing necessary. The specific type of rock in the mountain composition is easily disturbed and subject to frequent rockfalls, resulting in any cuttings invariably ending up with rocks on the road after the next rains. The construction work was dangerous, and there are some harrowing tales of rocks as big as cars rolling down the mountainside, sending the construction team running for their lives. So extensive was the rebuilding of the new road that an entire bypass had to be built, allowing for the flow of traffic to continue. Drilling rigs had to be mounted on trailers and lowered down the slopes by cables with winches. The team soon discovered a new way to stabilize a rock face. After drilling, they would pump water into the fissures at high pressure. This would loosen and lubricate the clay-like sediment between the rock layers and send tons of rocks and rubble roaring down the mountainside, which would then be bulldozed and used as backfill for the road surface. Once the rocks had fallen, the likelihood of new rockfalls was greatly reduced. To ensure that motorists would be safe from falling rocks, substantial partial retaining concrete walls were erected along the most unstable sections. These were left with an opening on the mountainside so that any rocks would end up in the gap and not on the road surface. Maintenance teams could then keep these gaps clear on a normal routine maintenance system. These walls have certainly stood the test of time, and when one drives over this pass, one gets the feeling that it's only just been opened. The cuttings through some of the noses and toes, as they are referred to, are up to 60 foot in depth. This was truly an outstanding piece of road engineering. There are many lovely laybys along the length of the pass to stop and enjoy the rugged scenery and admire the stellar engineering work. At the second layby, the original road can still be seen on the left. By the time you reach the summit at the 13.4 kilometer point, you will have climbed 420 vertical meters.